welcome to this week's edition of the Side Splitters. My name is Lyle,
And I'm, well, mostly Andy.
and our goal tonight is to leave you in stitches. What is going on, my pajama-clad friend?
Oh, just getting over the sickness.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you
Yeah,
gotta get over those things.
yeah. You gotta get down with the sickness.
Mm,
Mm,
I wanted to avoid that.
I
What's going
didn't.
on? What was going on with you?
Disturbed is one of my favorite bands. Um, I had, I guess, the dreaded stomach bug that's been going around.
Hmm.
Because, it seems like every year there's always the stomach bug that is going around. And, you know, that's how people justify it as, oh, I just need a day off of work. It's like, oh, of course you did, because every orifice is draining liquid out of it, like somebody's wringing a tissue, and you have no patience or will to survive the rest of the world. So shut yourself in for 24 hours, shades drawn, bathroom door constantly open, um, in some cases off of a hinge, and you lie to yourself thinking that you can get away with just intaking fluids and not leave, like not expel anything other than fluids, and for some reason chunky stuff that you don't know where the hell that came from either. But you do, and you make it through your 24 hours, and you're like, oh, all is right with the world. That was my experience with the stomach bug.
And isn't it always the same too? Like as soon as you finally feel better, like legitimately better, not maybe I can have soup with some solid stuff inside of it, but actually better. Like you're ready to take on the world of eating again. You just gorge yourself. You're like, okay, time to eat everything I've missed. And you act as if it's been like years or even months, but it's been a day.
Yeah, like I gave up human, like being human for Lent, and then all of a sudden, like it's the next day, and I'm like, oh, thank God it's over. Nom, 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 nom.
Exactly. Oh my God. And it's always your eyes are just way bigger than your stomach is because you always sit down to like this massive meal of all kinds of different stuff and you're just like, I can eat maybe three chicken wings and a few elbow noodles of that macaroni and cheese, but then I gotta call it quits after that. uh,
Yeah,
maybe,
did you ever?
go ahead.
Hmm? I was gonna say, do you ever have those telltale signs that you know you're getting sick? Like there's just the cue that your body gives you that just a heads up, the next 24 hours are gonna suck.
Yeah, I have, I have a few, like, there's the one where like, you know you're getting a sore throat. Like your throat is just forever dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that one. There's the almost the taste of your saliva. You can tell like, ooh, this tastes like infection. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
No, no, I get where you're coming from with that one.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it, I guess, for me.
I do get the throat thing. Actually, the thing that gets me is when you. It's not really the sniffles. Like, man, how do I describe this? Okay, so when your one nostril is like starting to close up in like the behind the scenes, like
Hmm.
like behind the curtain, stagehands are having an argument over whether or not the curtain should be open or closed.
I guess that would be a thing. For me, I have like 24/7 allergies, so like all year round.
What?
So like I don't know
How
how
can
to
you be allergic to a plant if it's alive and dead?
I just have nasal issues all the time. I don't know if it's necessarily allergies, but I know there is such a thing as winter allergies, but my nose is like forever clogged.
Wow. All
Hmm.
right. As an early warning system, the nose is the best, so I feel bad that you can't reliably use yours.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy about it is I got a powerful sniffer, man. I can usually smell some things. Um, and as weird as that sounds, let's move on to what I mean by that. I used to be able to smell out what friends were ordering from places.
Okay.
Like if someone got a sandwich from Wawa then came in the car, I just yeah, I know what that is. Just elaborate exactly what it is, what kind of roll they got, what kind of condiments they got, and then they just look at me a little afraid and a little bit like, oh yeah, there's Lyle again.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean it's not quite what it used to be, but if I had full use of it, and there was no such thing as any kind of congestion going on, man, I would almost say it's a superpower.
I know, like, sometimes your body gets really warm too. You ever have the ambient ball heat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just the worst. Like when you're sitting in a chair and you kind of just like know that whole area is getting a little bit more toasty than the rest of it, and you're like, no,
Yeah. It,
no, the illness.
then it's like you go to get up and you're like, God, why am I teabagging this bowl of soup? There's nothing even underneath me, but it feels like there's a bowl of soup there.
Yeah, it's like that weird velvet kind of feeling where it's just like sticking to places it doesn't normally stick to, and you're like, what's going on, boy? What is it? Is it the plague?
It's sticking to some places, other places it's just sliding around. Oh my goodness.
The early warning system, the balls.
Yeah, they just feel like a lot more tender and loose.
Yeah, things are particularly feeling like a dead bat wing, and you don't know.
Dead bat wing.
It's like a dead bat wing trying to have like a death grip on a grape. It just no, grab it, grab hold.
Uh, so if you want to get started with the show here,
Oh, we weren't. Shit, I'm sorry.
uh, I have this article here that I wanted to bring to your attention.
Okay.
I found it over the week. Um, there was apparently, I'm gonna just pull up the story here. There was apparently a Cheeto that was sold on eBay for nearly $100,000.
Cheeto,
A flaming hot Cheeto specifically.
but a single Cheeto, not like a bag or like an
Correct.
economy size thing. Just a single Cheeto.
Correct. And
Okay.
here's the thing.
Wait, wait, wait. Did it look like Jesus?
It looked close, not Jesus, Harambe. Remember the gorilla that got shot last year?
Yeah, the primate that died for our sins.
The
Um,
the things that we stuck out our hand wallets for.
yeah, we did. We totally did.
So the thing of it is it originally was posted for $11.99 on eBay, and it ended uh presumably a week later, maybe a week and a half, with a winning bid of $99,900.
That is insanity.
Isn't it?
That is absolute insanity.
I'm not
Like,
gonna lie though. Check this out.
wow.
Man, that's Harambe.
I mean,
Come on.
yeah.
If I ever seen a flaming hot Cheeto that I wanted to look at and said that's a monkey. That's the one.
I mean, the likeness is uncanny. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Perhaps it is a sign, but at the same token, like, what do you do? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put you in the position of the winning buyer of this particular Cheeto. Okay, you sir come from money. All right.
Okay.
Your parents are in the oil industry or something. I don't know. You're a great grandson of Rockefeller, and you've decided that you have some evening cash. Your Tuesday wallet is a little burgeoning. What could you spend on some sort of frivolous purchase? Oh, I know. Isn't it delightful that there is a snack food shaped like an internet meme martyr? Wouldn't it be great if you could spend your Tuesday money on that particular Cheeto? Like,
Your Tuesday money.
and then you get it in the mail, and it's like, okay, first of all, I don't even know how they would send it in one piece. But that's beside the point. You actually do get it in the mail, and then what? What do you do? Do you eat it?
No. You frame it, right? Like you have to.
Frame it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would do with an extra expensive snack purchase.
What are you supposed to do?
I mean, you have your Harambe Cheeto that you frame next to your Michael Jackson marshmallow, and then next to, I don't know, a Grumpy Cat biscuit.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You forgot about the Red Fox piece of toast.
Oh, how can I forget about the Red Fox toast?
I mean, at what point are you not allowed to exhibit such a thing for money?
People will sell anything.
Yeah,
Um,
people will sell anything, including tickets to come see something that you just bought on eBay.
oh my God. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
absolutely. You're gonna tell me, okay, first of all, there's no way he bought this thing for flat out $99,000. We'll say 100,000 at this point. So he didn't just go from $12 to 100,000. There was a climb to get there, which means there was at least one other person that was outbidding the person that won every step of the way. So someone else out there wanted to see this Cheeto.
Yeah,
That's at
rich
least
kids.
one. Right. Well, of course there's rich kids. Well, if they could spend all this money on a Cheeto, surely they could spend a little bit of money, we're saying maybe $30 a ticket to see it in real life.
Man, okay, regular kids without money compete with each other over who can be the dumbest all the time. I can imagine when rich kids do it, they go all out to compete over who is the dumbest. And spending $100,000 on a Cheeto seems like you're king of the pile there, Bucko.
Yeah, but I mean, you're making that 100,000 back. I still claim that.
No, you will never see that money again.
How about you? You ever buy anything crazy before?
Buy anything crazy? Do
Let's
collector's
start with
editions
that.
of video games count?
How crazy we getting here?
Collector's editions of both Soul Caliburs 4 and 5.
Okay, how much? How much? How
Uh,
much were they compared to the regular editions?
um, Oh, they were about $25 to $30 more,
25 to $30 more.
and I have nothing to show for it. I really don't.
Okay.
Um, Man, have I ever overspent on something? I'm trying to like I'm sitting in my den of nerdly sin and going over the listing of things, and it's just like, man, what have I overbought?
Have we talked about this before?
Maybe? I don't know. I really don't. Um,
I mean, I'm not editing this out. This is staying in, but I'm just curious if we have, whatever, you guys get to hear it again.
yeah, I don't know. We might have talked about it in the pre-show, but I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the show.
Hmm, good point. Maybe there's that.
Um,
Maybe there's that one hidden episode that never got released as a side splitters episode that we talked
yes,
about it on. Yet, very good point. Yet,
yes,
that might be coming soon.
really.
Yeah, I thought about something with that. Um, by the way, everyone, thanks for telling me if you guys would like another play to happen, another audio play to happen. The the responses were pouring in. I could barely keep track of them. It dawned on me that I was asking in person all the people that would probably have responded.
Ah,
So there was no need for them to respond. But I did get a couple of answers to us doing another radio play, and it was an astounding. I would certainly like to listen to that. Um, so you want to get into that? You want to talk about that possibility of
uh,
it?
yeah, might as well because I'm drawing a blank on things that I've spent an absurd amount of money on. I'm not a materialistic guy. I'm very cheap, very um Jewish when it comes to that sort of thing, I guess.
Well, I have stuff, but I'll get into that in a minute. Let me just take a break from that and plug something real quick. So
Plug away.
we want to do another radio play. We talked about this last week, and this time it's obviously not going to be Christmas. And there's going to be a couple of different things. So last time it was attached to a Christmas episode. This time around, I was thinking about attaching it to the special episode that was never released as an episode of Side Splitters. The episode that started it all for me and Andy. See, I used to be on another podcast, and it was called Binary Friends. And the podcast was a way for, it was a podcast where we would interview people. And it was just people of different things, right? Like, how would you describe it?
I would say a grab bag of people you've never heard of.
Yeah, Andy's never listened to it. So it was it was a podcast of people that we had authors on there. We actually had a guy on there who was an actor. He actually had like a movie and everything like that. Like he was making a movie. It was on a Kickstarter for it and everything. Like well respected actor. Not incredibly known, maybe D-list. But anyway, we did interviews, and when we couldn't find super big people, you know, we would resort to someone like Andy or someone like another podcast called Countdown to Geektown. But yeah, it was called Binary Friends, and we don't make them anymore, obviously. The reason is buried. We're not going to get into that. Well, what I will get into though is one of the last episodes I did for that. It was just me and Andy doing it. He was my guest for that week because my typical co-host was out on leave. So Andy was my special guest co-host, and we meshed so well that we were like, let's do our own podcast. And thus we have Side Splitters. So that's pretty much the first episode of Side Splitters, technically. So I want to release that. I still have it. I want to release it.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I haven't even listened to it. I didn't edit them back then.
Right.
So I would edit it, obviously. I would try to keep it as raw as possible, but, you know, I want to edit, like, when I say edit, I'm going to take out, like, you know, coughs and farts and burps and all that nonsense. Andy does a ton of that. If you guys knew what I had to go through every week. So I would like to release that, and I would like to, you know, package that with the new radio play. And we were also told that we were going to be given a special rap by someone.
I'm not naming any names. That promotes obligation, and no, sir.
You already said you would do it. You can't back out now.
I can. I do whatever I want. This is America.
All right. Andy's going to do it whether or not likes it or not. Tom's going to do it, Andy.
Man.
Come on. Andy's going to do it.
I mean, I'll channel my inner Snoop Dogg if I have to.
But it's going to be Irish Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Andy's going to be playing the role of St. Patrick because the play is going to be based around St. Patrick's Day and Easter. I'm not going to get into too many details, but it's going to be a St. Patrick's Day / Easter Day play. And Andy will be playing the role of St. Patrick in the play. So as St. Patrick, he's going to come up with a little rhyme for us, a little rap. So you're going to have the St. Patrick's Day / Easter play. You're going to have the origin episode of the Side Splitters, previously unreleased under Side Splitters. It was released from Binary Friends, I think, because it was like the second to last episode. It was only released for like a week or two before I ended up taking it off and shutting the whole thing down. So it was not out for long. And you're getting, did I say the rap? The play. You're getting a 3-piece deal here.
Yeah, so play, rap, and episode.
Play, rap, and episode. And the reason I say you're getting this deal is because we're going to be doing something a little different with this, because this is going to be a bonus thing. It's not going to be a typical weekly Side Splitters episode. We want to do a new segment. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. And we want to try it out. Something that's going to go to our YouTube channel and everything like that. In order to do it, though, we kind of need a little bit of funding to get us started. So what we're asking is for this 3-piece package deal, we're going to put it up on a website called Bandcamp. Hopefully. That's the plan. And it's going to cost at least $1. So you pay at least $1. You pay what you want, but you have to pay at least $1. So if you pay $1, you get the unreleased episode, the play, Andy's rap as St. Patrick. That's it. And all the proceeds come to us for future projects like this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The YouTube channel, that one thing we want to do, might as well tell them if we're going to advertise it, we got to advertise it. We got to.
Right. Like you already opened the can of worms. Might as well
Oh,
just see what kind of juicy night crawlers are in there.
I'm opening it. We want to get. Uh, Andy's been wanting to do this segment where we predict who's going to win wrestling matches. We can't really do that. We found out. I mean, we probably could, but it's just it's not the same as football matches. Um, Football matches, there's a bit of randomness to it. There's a bit of, it's not someone's going to win because it'd be better for story. No, you win because you're the better athlete. So with wrestling, it's kind of like if I actually paid attention to wrestling, I could probably guess who would actually win. I wouldn't, but still, it kind of takes away from the excitement for it. Then you think, well, we have to replace it with something, and he's really set on the wrestling thing. So we came up with the idea of maybe if we got the latest edition of the WWE video game franchise, WWE 2K17, we can create matches in that game, right? So we would have, like, for example, Stone Cold versus, I don't know, The Rock, I guess. I'm sure neither one of them still wrestle. But,
I mean, The Rock occasionally, but
oh yeah? Okay.
yeah, still he'll come in. Like usually WrestleManias or something like that.
All right. Well, we'll have that wrestling match, and we will both give our opinions on who will win because it'll be controlled by the AI, the bot, the computer, however you want to call it. It will not be human controlled, so the outcome will be completely random. So it'll just be based off of our guess. Um, but that's not the whole reason. We're not going to go out and get this $60 game just so we could come up with outcomes for, computer controlled wrestling matches. That'd be ridiculous. On top of that, we're going to record these matches. And then we're going to go back and we're going to add our own 90s themed wrestling commentary to it. So we're going to be playing characters that would have commentated on wrestling matches in the 90s. Like JR. What was the other guy's name?
Little JR, Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry the King Lawler, those kind of guys. We'll probably have our own characters. Like, it will be based off of them, but it won't be them. It'll be our own, original idea, our own thing. And it's just, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of he broke him in half. Plenty of shouting the name of the move over and over and over again, It's going to be funny. It's something we really want to do. I think we could have a lot of fun with it. And hopefully we can have at least an episode up every month. At least. Maybe if the episodes aren't that difficult to do, possibly every week. That could be a little bit, we don't want it to interrupt with side splitters. We want side splitters to be first and foremost. So, just giving you all cards on the table deal here because essentially the funding relies on you guys. The listening audience. If you guys donate the amount of money, now we don't need the whole 60, obviously. I doubt we're going to make $60 off this idea. But if we can at least cut some of the cost, it'll be a lot easier. Now, if for some reason we get $5 out of this whole ordeal, if that, don't think that $5 is going to be like, well, there's no way we're going to buy a game with just $5. So pocket money, right? No, it'll probably go to other costs like hosting fees for the website to host the podcast and everything like that. Like whatever we get for this 3-piece deal that we're going to be promoting, it's going to be going towards the podcast. If we somehow magically get more than $60, that just means better quality stuff. Everything is going to be going back to the podcast. Definitely 100%. No doubt in my mind. So there's that. That's what we've been kind of hinting towards for the last couple of weeks. And that's all I got. Anything to add to it?
Well, I mean, if you think of it this way, if it's $1 minimum for the three things, then that's 33.3 repeating, I'd imagine.
For each
cents per piece of content. When was the last thing you bought for 33.3 cents?
Yes, listeners, what was the last thing you bought for 33.3 cents?
Because I guarantee you the answer is nothing, if not close to nothing. And you get 3 of these particular somethings for $1.
Yeah.
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 Ought to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, hell, I might even buy it.
Might even buy it. Well, that's everything. More details will come soon as we get closer to actually production and everything, which has to start kind of soon because, March is upon us. Um,
March is upon us.
so, we just got to finish writing it, and then we got to just, record, edit, and then it's good to go.
Yeah,
Editing.
I gotta hang up my shorts and get ready for the blizzard.
That's weird. You're right, though. Editing the old episode shouldn't be a problem. That should just be maybe a night, if that. It should be fun to go back and listen to, though. Um, and then you, good sir, just have to come up with your rap.
I can. I can do that.
Okay. So that's that.
Tell me I'm gonna have a beat. Who's gonna make me a beat?
I actually, believe it or not, have an old piece of instrumental music that someone gave us a while ago. And I was looking to use it for something, like one of the segments, like maybe clickbait news or something like that, but just never did anything with it. So technically, I have a beat for you.
Oh, good. Put that sucker on loop and let me go at it.
The only downside to it, though, is I don't have the guy's permission to use it for monetization, because technically we're going to be monetizing it.
Ah, that's a
So,
problem.
yeah, I might not want to do that. Haven't thought of that. But either way, um, that's that. I mean, we spent enough time on it. Looking forward to do it. We'll give you more details when it gets closer. Anyway, I have once spent.
back, back to you.
I used to have a hobby of collecting comic books, like old rare comic books. I mean, I kind of still do. I just don't do it as frequent as I used to. Um, and all the classic key issues. Like I had the first appearance of like Venom from Spider-Man. I had the first appearance of Iron Fist at one point, who
Wow.
just got a new Netflix trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that or not. Oh man, it looks awesome. Can't wait.
Better
Uh,
than the character deserves.
I like the character.
You would.
You think we'll get Sabretooth out of it? Anyway.
God, I hope not.
So I mean, yeah, I had a bunch of comics and I was just kind of collecting, over time. I had the first appearance of Deadpool at one point. Andy was actually with me when I first bought that comic.
Yeah.
My
Pretty good
God,
deal you got for it,
what
too.
a steal I got for it. $40 for it. I sold it for $300. Which brings me to my next point. I ended up selling a bunch of my comics. I probably spent a grand total of about $400 on comics, and I sold 9 of them, not even all of them, 9 of them for about $1,100. And I took that money and I went and bought my beautiful, beautiful PC. So cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably the most valued possession I have right now as far as, monetary value. Here's something. How about sentimental value? Because I will tell you, I'll go first actually with this one as far as sentimental value goes. I actually have in my possession. Do you? This is something for more of the local listeners. Do you remember Newcomb Hospital?
Yeah, I do.
Newcomb Hospital, for those that don't know, was a hospital, a local hospital of ours. It's actually where I was born. Um, and from my very day of birth, I have the scrub that my dad wore in the delivery room,
Hmm.
which is something for me because for those that don't know, I didn't know my dad all my life until I was about 23 years old. We rekindled, eventually we reconnected. We've been good ever since. But the first time I actually physically met him, that's what he presented to me. The scrub that he actually wore in the delivery room while I was born. And the only reason I knew this wasn't something that he was yanking my chain with or anything was because on the back it says property of Newcomb Hospital, and that hospital hasn't been there for years.
Wait,
So I was like,
he gives this to you the first time you reconnect to him after 23 years?
pretty much, yeah.
What an odd thing to gift.
Well, here's the thing. He lives in Colorado, so I went to Colorado to meet him, and the week that I was there, he gifted it to me. Not like as soon as he see me, he was like, "Here, take this first. Now we hug." You know?
About to say because that was the thought process I had in my mind, and like of all things to souvenir and
Yeah.
save, like
I mean, he did souvenir and save it, but he just ended up giving it to me sometime throughout that week. You know. So everyone always asks like, what's the one thing you would grab in a fire, and immediately my thought goes PC. But I would wrap my PC probably in the scrub that he wore from when I was born. It's really cool. I like that. How about you? You got anything sentimental?
um a jar of money. Now hold on, because there's a story behind
Oh, I
this.
can't wait.
All right, so it might. I don't know if it's probably not the biggest monetary value that I have, ironically enough.
Sentimental.
Um, yeah, but the sentimental thing. So, my grandfather was probably one of the few family members that I was really, really close with. Because as close as I am to my brothers, at some point in our lives we have fought pretty hard. Um,
Shout outs to Fresco.
yeah, he knows. Um, so my grandfather had this tradition with his grandkids that he was a military man, and he's been all over the world. Uh, and one of the things he collected was money. He collected like coins and stuff like that. And what he did for his grandchildren was that every time they had a birthday, however old they were turning, they got that many dollar coins in like a jar. And so if you turned one, you got one. If you turned five, you got five, etc. Until you were 18 years old, and then he gave you the jar, and you did what you will of it. Um, Out of all of my cousins, I think I'm the last one that still has theirs. And
I thought you were going to say I'm the only one that got up to 18.
no, 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 no.
The other ones didn't make it.
And for those playing the home game, if you're using Asian Magic or math, um, that comes out to about 177 coins. I've added since then. I also started collecting $2 bills. Whenever I came across dollar coins in the wild, I would exchange them, real money for them to put them in the jar specifically. And I'm kind of building up the collection still to this day. And I've got a few nice items in there. Some of the stuff that he gave me was like um, silver dollars from like 1888.
Hmm.
Um, where the silver content was incredibly high on those.
Right,
I
right.
think right now the value for those are like somewhere around $30 a piece, just because of the silver content. Um, but a couple things like that. I got like a $2 bill and a $1 bill from 1928 in there that I got at my first job working at a gas station, and a little old lady came in and bought $3 worth of gas and gave me those two things as payment. Back when $3 worth of gas, meant something.
Right.
Um, and when I lived in Las Vegas, it was right around the time where they started doing the gold dollar coins. And they had the different presidents on them, and the first ones up were the George Washington ones. And the Denver Mint, the first generation of those coins out of the Denver Mint were misprinted. They were supposed to have E pluribus unum on the edge, and they were missing that. So they recalled them, and then they reprinted a new generation that had that on there. I still have 5 coins of the misprinted generation in there. So it's it's sentimental for me just because of how close I was with my grandfather. There's a piece of him in there that I can't really replace. I never really got anything else from him. I don't have a lot of like photos or anything like that. And it was just such an interesting tradition that I might want to try to continue it with grandchildren. God forbid if I ever have them, in my own lifetime, to be something to do with them as well. So in the meantime, I just keep adding to the jar of obscure or rare money that I come across.
That's really neat. I think that's
There's
cool.
also a letter in there from myself. I wrote it in 2005 and said, do not open until 2010. And I did. I read it, and it was probably one of the most depressing pieces of literature I think I've ever read in my life. I had such aspirations for myself that I didn't anywhere near accomplish.
Well, I will mention something about one of the aspirations. Um, if you guys buy that dollar bundle of wonderfulness, I forgot to mention this. There is a story that Andy tells on that old podcast
Oh my God.
that has never since been mentioned on this podcast because we always said if it's ever going to be aired, you know, metaphorically saying airing our dirty laundry, if that dirty laundry was to ever be aired, it would be through that podcast.
You
Not
gotta pay.
you have to pay for it. You're not getting that story for free. You have
Oh
to
my
pay
God.
for it. That story is on there. And that's all I'm
Story.
going to say about it. All right. Anyway, that's cool as shit though. I like that idea. I like the whole thing really.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like I kind of like the irony of the lead up. It's like, oh well, probably the most sentimental thing I have is a jar of money.
Yeah. All right. So let's move along here. Get
Okay.
away from values here for a minute. We got some
Yes,
things to
please.
take care
I've
of.
had enough values.
We got some things to take care of. First of all, Super Bowl just happened.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
So we have to do the obligatory, let's talk about football for a second. Couple things to point out. First of all, we witnessed history. I don't know if you realize this or not, but that was the first ever overtime Super Bowl.
Realize it. I don't even know what it means.
It was the first time a football game in the Super Bowl had ended regulation time in a tie score. Therefore, having to go into overtime to declare the winner based off of overtime rules, which is sudden death, and not many people are fond of that. Well, technically not sudden death.
I'm about to say who died.
You're an idiot. It used to be sudden death. It used to be the first team to score wins. Now it's the first team to score a touchdown wins. Or, if you score a field goal, the opposing team gets an opportunity. If you score a field goal on your opening drive, the opposing team gets an opportunity to match that field goal or score a touchdown.
Okay.
It's complicated and weird and a lot easier if you already know the rules.
Right.
So if you don't know the rules and want to know more about it, you can email us at lasidesplitters@gmail.com. And I'll tell you all about it. Anyway, you said, did you catch any commercials or no?
No. I didn't actually.
You didn't watch it,
No.
right? Yeah, I didn't think so. Right. So you didn't catch any of the commercials on YouTube or anything?
No, I haven't looked at any of them.
And it wasn't really. I don't know. I'm not really one for getting excited about the commercials of a Super Bowl game. The only thing exciting to me for a Super Bowl game, aside from the game itself, is the abundance of movie trailers and stuff like that we get.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the halftime show.
The halftime show for me is just a moment to get up and get more chili and more wings and use the bathroom. Because for some reason, when halftime comes on, everyone goes, halftime's on, time to watch the game. What about the game that was already happening? So the kitchen
No, it doesn't count.
The kitchen cleared. No one's around the food anymore. The bathroom's cleared. I now have free game of everything. So that's when I decide to get up and, go get my food, go take my pee breaks. Everything's good. Everything's right in life again. Meanwhile, they're watching Lady Gaga jump off of a stadium. Congratulations.
I have seen memes of that. That's probably the only thing I've seen out of the Super Bowl.
Honestly, that's the only thing I've seen out of the halftime performance was memes of that.
Like, I love the one where it's like, Lady Gaga coming off the top of the cage, and it's just her jumping off, and then a scene from WWE where a superstar comes off the top of the cage and lands on a bunch of other superstars.
Yeah. I mean, it was... Yeah, I don't know. From what I've been told, she was great, but I was eating chicken wings and chili and peeing. Not in that order, not at the same time, just was doing those things.
Doing it wrong if you're not doing it at the same time.
What a game, though. I mean, I know you aren't one to care about football or anything, but my God, the entire time I'm like, this is all that matters. Andy was right. Andy was right about the big game, the important game, because the Falcons were destroying the Patriots. Didn't even look like it belonged to be a Super Bowl game because of how one-sided the game was. Then halftime happened, and Tom Brady took his water bottle and put Tom's secret stuff on the side of the label and did this whole speech about how, if you guys all just tried my secret stuff, we'd be able to win this game. The bottle was just water. They had it in them the whole time,
Oh
but
my
they didn't
God.
realize it. So he starts drinking from this water bottle, and all of a sudden he's like flexing all kind of muscles no one realized he had before. And then next thing you know, Edelman started drinking from it, and all the other, take your pick, whoever else you want to name from the Patriots. There's not many to name. They all started drinking from the water bottle, and they're all just like, "My God, you're right. I do feel it." They don't feel nothing, but they don't want to look stupid. They don't want everyone else to feel it, and they're the only ones that don't. So they act like they feel it, and they go out there and they're all pumped up, and they come back and they win this game, Andy. Because the Falcons are sitting there and they're completely blindsided. They thought they were going to win the game, no problem. So they're just like, whatever, let's just keep doing what we were doing before. That wasn't good enough though. See, because now they had Tom's secret stuff.
I appreciate the Space Jam reference.
Good.
Um, and at the same token, I'm sure that while Tom was giving his speech, somewhere in the background, somebody was deflating a football.
Yeah,
Because they
probably.
realize that it has too much air in it, so they can't play proper football until somebody flattens one or two of them.
Yeah, there was definitely some balls deflated that night. Well, that's enough of the Super Bowl combo. Patriots won again.
Whap whap
Womp womp.
whap whap.
Now, on to more obligations. A lot of obligations this episode.
Right? I didn't realize it.
This is one that you specifically requested and, almost demanded. Andy, can you please tell me and the listeners, tell them why you're mad, son?
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm mad. Because it's February. February only really means two things. One, the strangest tradition in America has to take place because apparently Japan ran out of weird ideas, so they gave us one. Where we have our entire season broadcasted by whether or not a rodent is surprised that he has a shadow. Um,
I had no idea where you were going with that. I'm like, what is he talking about? All right.
yeah, a tradition so strange the Japanese were like, Americans are weird.
Right.
Um, and the other one is probably the most useless waste of a calendar spot I can think of since Boxing Day. Um,
Ooh.
I know, right?
You're you're
And
you're getting
that,
you're getting this Canadian territory there. You might want to watch yourself.
what are they gonna do? Hit me?
No, they'll probably just apologize.
And I'll step into one of their hospitals and they'll just give me free healthcare. Yay, Canada. Um, as I drown my sorrows in maple syrup liquor. Um, no, I speak, of course, of the useless waste of space known as Valentine's Day. And I'm going to tell you why I'm mad about Valentine's Day. First of all,
Tell
it
them why
is
you're mad,
not a real
son.
holiday.
Tell them why you're mad, son.
It is not a real holiday. It can't be. Every other holiday celebrates something or another, whether it be, religious conviction, political conviction, or, old traditions that don't seem to really fit in today's world or today's society, but because they're traditional, we do them. You know, um, solsticing or festivals and stuff like that. Fine, sure, whatever. Valentine's Day is just a reason to sell crap. It is. It is a completely commercial holiday that is tugging at your I want to say your self-confidence in being a competent human being. Because nothing says, guilt trip and a half than living to see another Valentine's Day where you're single. Like, it's a terrible feeling. It really is. because you are constantly berated on all sides by images of people having, I guess, more happiness than you with a loved one, or it's just something along the lines to remind you of how shitty your significant other is if you do have one on Valentine's Day, because you're like, man, this is a day about love, and I'm stuck with this bitch. Um, and it's like all the obligations, because it's like right around Christmas. Christmas is another one of those holidays that gives you obligations. Valentine's Day, oh man, like she's expecting something, or he's expecting something, and you think, all right, well, what do I get him? Do I get him jewelry, or do I get her jewelry? Do I get him, I don't know, tickets for a game, or ooh, let's go with candy. Yeah, because nothing says I love you than destroying that body that I fell in love with. No, by all means, get fat and ridiculously wrinkled and heavyweight, while I sit over here and wonder whatever happened to the woman I fell in love with, or the man that I fell in love with. Um, it's and it's at the tail end of the suicide season, because anybody that wasn't going to blow their brains out around Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's has a last chance coming in Valentine's Day.
Or Super
Um,
Bowl.
yeah, or Super Bowl. Um, last call is February 14th before tax season starts, because then I guess you can go in the bonus round. Um,
The bonus round.
But yeah, it's a stupid holiday. It's full of obligations. It's full of half-assed like commercialism, and it puts strain on relationships that otherwise don't need to be there. If you are in love with somebody and you're one of the lucky few that actually has somebody that can tolerate your particular brand of craziness for extended periods of time, hold on to that person the entire year. Not just go out of your way for one day to go, oh, here's a box of chocolates. Oh, here's a new piece of earring. Or, oh, hey, I got an idea. How about I treat you, extra special nice today for some reason, but tomorrow I'll be back to being a jackass. Um, it's a stupid holiday. It makes no sense. I hate it. I hate every fiber of it. I hated it when I was single. I hated that I'm in a relationship. It's not a good holiday, no matter what side of the fence you're on.
Damn. That's all you got?
Do you need more?
I don't, but I just wanted to know if you do you?
No, no, I'm fine. Like, I don't know what your particular viewpoint of the holiday is, but for me, it is. It could go suck a fuck.
Well, for me, it's the holiday itself. Yeah, it's kind of silly if you think of it that way, but at the same time, it's an easy way to make women happy.
Is it?
Eh, if your woman happens to like that kind of thing, if my woman happens to love chocolate and getting gifts for stupid reasons, so there you go.
Probably. Um, Probably the three words that a man wants to hear most out of a woman's mouth, and he has the greatest chance of hearing it around Valentine's
Can I
Day.
guess them? Can I guess them?
Sure.
Let's see. 3 words, huh?
Hmm.
Please go slow.
Um, no.
First
Not the
timer
three
here.
words I was thinking of. What was the other one?
First timer here.
No, no, no. The three words that any guy wants to
One,
hear on
one
Valentine's
more.
Day.
One more.
Okay,
But I pooped there.
that's four.
Okay, take out the I. But poop there.
But poop there.
Alright. What are they?
A guy wants to be buttered up by his woman. He wants her to wear the sluttiest, slinkiest outfit, um, like curl up to him all nice and gentle like, and whisper the three magical words in his ear, let's try anal.
Okay. So I was right.
You were getting close. You were really close. But that's all the guy wants to hear out of a woman's mouth. And the best time he can hear it is around Valentine's Day, because sometimes a woman might drop her guard to go, all right, maybe this year.
Those chocolate hearts and Russell Stover's collections and giant teddy bear and flowers and all that just happened to gleam the right way that time.
Yeah. And she's like,
He gave me chocolate, time to give him some.
It is a holiday for it.
Yes.
Are you making a note to
Uh-huh.
try to get your significant other?
No, I was making a note for a title of the episode. We'll get to that later.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, that's all we have to say about Valentine's Day, right? Like, I'm pretty sure it's taken care of.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if you want to add in on that rant,
I
but
don't.
for the most
I
part, I'm done.
I think you covered it all pretty nicely. What I do want to do is get started on this segment for this week. We're not doing clickbait news this week, mostly because I only have like one good story. The rest of them, it was kind of a slow news week, and I'll save that for next week because who knows what next week will be. But I have to get this story out there next week because it's just ripe for the picking, and it's great.
Oh, is it about the legit supervillain that's taking over the world with a weather machine?
No, I like my
Okay,
stories to not be so headliney
okay,
or so
fair enough.
popular, I guess. I want my stories to be something that you legit haven't heard of yet. Like they're real, but they're not very popular.
I
This one
got you.
happens to be out of Florida. Big surprise. But anyway. Um so we're gonna play Would You Rather.
Yay! Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, good point. That's totally why we're doing it. But for those who don't know, Would You Rather is a game me and Andy tend to play where basically he's much better at it than I am. So I usually feed him the actor or actress and the character that specific thespian has played. And he has to decide of the two which he would rather have a pleasant evening with. Have the old three words whispered to him from. um, so we'll get right into it. As I would give an example, but instead of giving an example, we're just going to get right into the first one. Would you rather take male or female? Let's go with that.
Start me off with a female. I need to get
Start
warmed up.
off with a female. You need to get warmed up. All right. How's this for warmed up? Would you rather Halle Berry
Okay.
or Letitia Musgrove from Monsters Ball?
I feel like we've done Halle Berry.
Have we?
I think we have.
No worries. I have others. Lucy
Okay.
Liu
Okay.
or Oren Ishil from Kill Bill.
Ooh. Okay. So I am gonna have to go with the Kill Bill character, and I'm gonna tell you why. So Lucy Liu, um, while she falls into that category of like, there are sometimes that there are weirdly attractive Asians, and then there is the opposite. And I don't know what it is. Maybe my glasses aren't the right prescription. I need to get that looked at. But when I see Lucy Liu, she looks part fish. I don't know what it is. Like, she's not just being coy, she's being a coy.
Oh my god.
Something about the spacing of her eyes and her lips. Like, honestly, if she had the whiskers, I could see her swimming upstream. Um, it's just
Looks
not
like
attractive
a
to me.
fish.
Like, some Asians do. Some Asians look like fish or turtles
Oh,
or some sort of aquatic animal. And I don't know why they do, but they do. And
so
she falls under that category.
you're categorizing the entire Oriental female population of sometimes they look like fish.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why I
Wow.
don't get, some people have big Asian fetishes, and I'm looking at it like, take a trip to SeaWorld. Like, if you're really that hard on for the Asians, go to an aquarium. Um,
So definitely the Kill Bill character.
yeah, definitely the Kill Bill character, because not only does, I mean, she may still look like a fish, but she has that badass quality that goes with it. I don't know what kind of person Lucy Liu is in person, because I've never met her, but I know that the character at least has like, and, badass assassin, nimble kind of, you know, super sexy ninja fish thing going on. So I'll go with the super sexy ninja fish.
Super sexy ninja fish.
You heard me.
Super sexy. All right. Now that that's out of the way. Next one. I got, you ever see Shallow Hal?
Yes.
Okay. Jack Black or Hal?
Ooh.
Let me tell you,
Um.
it was difficult to find one for Jack Black because I'm like, every character Jack Black plays is Jack Black. Like,
Yeah.
oh, his character from School of Rock. I'm like, how would that be any different? Oh, the character from Tenacious D and Big of Destiny. How would that be any different? Oh, the character from King Kong. Nobody likes him.
Nobody likes him. No, nobody does. And I was gonna say Gulliver, from Gulliver's Travels, but
Even then, he's kind of still
what
Jack.
about R.L. Stein from Goosebumps?
Yeah, well, I picked Shallow Hal. So what do you got?
Okay. So, as sweet as it is to think that I would go with Hal because, he did have a big character change, during the movie, and he's just like, all right, he finally got to see beauty for what it is, oh, da, 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 play the violin, and then cue the end credits, cuddle up with a bag of popcorn, and then call it a day. No, I actually really love Jack Black, and that's not even coming from like, being a part of this little skit here trying to make an answer. No, no, no. I actually legitimately love Jack Black. If I could spoon with him just once, I could die a happy man.
I mean, the
Um,
real question would be, how far would you go?
oh man.
You know,
Let's try anal.
sometimes you have to squeeze. Sometimes you have to say please.
Hey, I want to fuck you. I do. And he,
Just
man, I think he's funny. I know people's like, oh, he's a one-note actor, like he's a character actor. It's like, yeah, but it's a really good character.
absolutely
It's
it is. Yeah, I
it's
love him.
endearing.
Hmm.
I love it. Like it's pretty Chris Farley-ish when you think about it. No, nobody ever gave Chris Farley shit about like playing a one-note character, like because he was lovable. Plus he's dead, so you can't really speak ill of the dead.
Yeah,
But
I think he died before anyone noticed. Was the thing for that?
maybe. But like, yeah, Jack Black is the kind of guy that like you can hang out with. You can watch a really cool movie, and he's the kind of person that would like make anything into like a silly little game or like make those precious little moments where you're like, oh, we were just ordering food, but now he's doing a silly voice with the Asian guy, for the Chinese food, and it all of a sudden becomes like an adorable like date night thing, and he's the kind of guy that would do that sort of thing. Like, I love that. I love a funny guy. So, of course, Jack Black.
This is what makes this segment so damn awesome. Because it's not just I guess Jack Black because the boobs are better nowadays than they were when he was in Shallow Hal. This is why I couldn't do it, is what I'm getting at. This is why you are perfect for this segment. Like, for real. No one else would sit there and go, probably because he would make fun of the Chinese man by doing a voice when we go to order Chinese. And that is just a memorable date night. Like that. That's not coming out of anyone else's fucking mouth. Oh, that's great.
Oh man. Although, as much as I love to hear myself talk about him, I wouldn't mind including you in at least one.
All right, let me give you one more,
Okay.
and then we'll do one with me. All right, you have
Okay.
one lined up for me?
I do actually.
Okay, good. Next one has to be female for you. We're going male, female, male, female. And I'm going to apologize in advance, but I had to throw one in here. Would you rather Kathy Bates
Okay.
or Molly Brown from Titanic?
Ooh.
This is me saying to you, I hope you still like that stupid ass boat movie.
I actually do. I actually do, and you know what? I am gonna go with the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Oh, she was singable.
No, no, I think she floats. And I'll tell you why. Okay, so I love the Southern charm with her. I think Kathy Bates doing a Southern accent was pretty sexy. Um, what?
Not exactly the adjective I'd use, but all right.
Look, there's something about a Southern accent that is sexy. I don't know what it is. And even when people do a terrible Southern accent, and I'm talking god awful, and I'm looking at you, Anna Paquin, um, it's still sexy for some reason. Even if it is like, cartoonish and played up. But she did it on a subtle level, and I like that. And I liked her spirit, how she was very accepting of other people. Like, every other like rich snooty person was like turning their nose up at Leonardo DiCaprio, but not Molly Brown. She saw something in that boy, and I'm sure she wanted to see more of that boy. But she also recognized that he had an apple of his eye that she couldn't compete with. And you know what? That's her thing. She don't need no man. She has her riches on her own. Um, and even in a crisis situation, she held herself together. She was getting all the other rich people all settled and out the door and on the lifeboats. She was always, thinking about other people throughout the entire movie, and I love her for that. Like, she has a big heart to match that big unsinkable ass. But the heart is what I fell in love with first, and then everything else the Moo was covering up kind of fell fell in line afterwards.
Nice. All right, what do you got for me?
Okay,
Come on, funny man, make it a good one.
make it a good one. Yeah, no pressure there or anything like that. Um, so, um, oh crap. No, I swear I had something here. Hold on a second. It was crap.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
Right? Oh shit. Wait. Crap.
You want to go with your next one first?
Oh no. I remember.
Lay it on me.
Okay. Tim Curry or Dr. Frankenfurter from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I've never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No.
Not all the way through, no.
But you know the character, right?
Not enough to base this decision off of.
Oh my
I
god.
know Tim Curry, right? Yeah, I definitely know Tim Curry.
If you don't know Tim Curry, then I'm disowning
I
you.
had to make sure it was the right person.
Man, all right. So, okay, I'll go with somebody you know then. Tim Curry, still,
Mhm.
or Nigel Thornberry.
Okay, all right. Um, for those who don't know, Nigel Thornberry is the father in New Wild Thornberries. It's a cartoon on Nickelodeon and a nice
Smashing!
smashing. Alrighty, I would have to probably go with. Yeah, I mean, I can't fathom a reason why I would not go with Nigel. I mean, as if the mustache doesn't alone do it. Because
You like a little mustache tickling?
oh, that's more than tickling, good sir. That's not just tickling. You're dusting the whole area off down there, you know. No matter what, he's just cleaning me with that thing. Even screaming, he's just scratching my back with it, you know. He can do anything with that thing. Anyway, so I mean that's the start there, and you know, let's be honest here. If you ever wanted to try new things, you're talking about a guy that would eat. Damn it, I can't remember the name of it, but they were pretty much just large rodents. They never showed them on the show, but he mentioned it, and I forget the name of them, but they're like it's pretty much like a mole rat that's the size of a dog. Like it's just a big creature. Anyway, he would eat those. He would
Capybara?
yes, Tapabera. Thank you so much. Yes.
You're welcome.
Um, he would eat those, and he mentioned it several times. He would just find all kind of different creatures and plants and just so knowledgeable. Surely he knows a thing or two about. I'm trying to do what you do here, romancing, I guess. I mean, consider this. Consider all the different mating patterns that the man has observed before.
All right, good point. Good point.
At some point, he has to come up with his own perfected mating pattern to where, he took a little bit from everyone and just made perfection. I would now have that perfection. I mean, look at his wife in the show. You think she would have really fell for some guy like him? Doesn't seem like they're very compatible, you know? So it would make sense that he's obviously offering more than just personality and looks. And I think the undeniable courtship is exactly what it is. And if it's undeniable, who am I to deny it? I want to see it firsthand. I want to eat wild things.
I want to see just how thorny his berries can be.
I was going to get there, but all right. Yeah, I'm eating his berries. That's
Hmm.
what I'm getting at here. It's definitely Nigel Thornberry,
All right.
aka the tummy tickler. Um,
Magic.
Magic. All right, so what do we leave off with you? A woman, right? So next up is a man. Let's see. I have 3 men and 1 woman left since you took out Halle Berry.
Wow. All right.
um, let's go next with God. Have you seen Monsters Ball?
Um, a long time ago.
Okay, no worries. How about Billy Bob Thornton or Sling Blade?
Okay. That's actually hard.
Because you've never seen Sling Blade or because they're the same person?
No, they're not the same person. Nowhere near.
Okay, you've seen Sling Blade.
I've seen Sling Blade, yes. Um,
Mm,
oh man,
mm.
as devastatingly awesome as Sling Blade is, I'm gonna have to go with Billy Bob Thornton on this. And okay, so Billy Bob Thornton is actually a really funny guy. I've seen interviews with him. I've seen like the way that cast and crew talk about him in like behind the scenes for movies and stuff like that. And he's apparently a really like a joy to be around. Um, and the characters that he plays is usually kind of like the grumpy like gave up on life kind of old man thing. Like he's just bitter about everything, which couldn't be further from what he actually is like. The man is very fun loving. And Sling Blade, yeah, I mean, he has a certain sense of charm about him, and the way he talks could serenade me into a
Southern, man.
coma.
Southern.
Huh?
Southern.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, he could lull me into a coma in mid diarrhea, like just calm me down that swiftly and that suddenly. And
All right.
I and but Billy Bob's got the heart behind it, man, and I'm a big sucker for a heart. I really am. Um, not to say that a man has to have one to get to the bottom of mine. I mean, you heard what I said about Mel, but uh, it's just I don't know, man. Like he's kind of like okay, Billy Bob Thornton is the uncle that, you know, did some stuff with you when you were younger and then came back years later to apologize for it and was genuine. And then at that point, you weren't forced to be in love with him. You did love him.
Well, we're gonna move on.
That's
What the
Billy
hell,
Bob
man?
Thornton in a nutshell.
Yeah, nutshells. Um, you are something.
I thought it was accurate.
Accurate. That's a word.
Sure is.
I guess we'll move on to the woman.
Oh, if we
Uh,
have to.
Sarah Jessica Parker
Oh my God, no.
or Natalie Lake from Mars Attacks.
Oh my God. Oh, what greatest sandpaper do I want on my balls? Oh
I
God.
couldn't give you Hocus Pocus.
No, no, you couldn't. which is a shame because I would have jumped at that chance.
Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
And I couldn't
Uh,
put Sex in the City and let our listeners know that you actually watched that show.
it was only a few episodes and because my roommate was into it. Um, God, she looks like a foot.
Looks like a foot.
uh, man, all right. So I am gonna, especially nowadays, man. Like she's not aging well. She well, I could. I'm gonna pick the God. Just look at that. Just look at that.
That's a glamour shot.
That's a glamour shot. Look, I swear. She changes from varying shades of appendage to really good surgery transvestite to whatever the hell that is. That's a jack-o'-lantern with you know latex stretched over the front of it to give it a face-like quality. Yeah, yeah, yes. Her next to the horse for comparison is pretty damn accurate. Oh, no, tell her to put clothes on.
All right, who are you picking?
Yeah, definitely the Mars Attacks chick, just because of all the negatives from actual Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, I don't, I don't want to be anywhere near that train wrecked pile of Vidal Sassoon byproducts. Um, like there is not enough beauty regimen in the world to make her uh attractive. Like she may have been at some point. No, I'd even take her as the dog body in Mars Attacks.
All right.
And you know what? Even then, okay. So bonus points is I would actually take her out on the Chihuahua body, her head on the Chihuahua body, because then what I get to do is I get to have this fun little game where I could, we could do some heavy petting, wink, wink. Um, and then when I get tired of looking at her, I could just remove her head because it's detachable. I can just play with the dog body. There we go. I would have a headless Chihuahua, and that would be the best benefit than traditional Sarah Jessica Parker. Like what happened? At least in Hocus Pocus, she looked like a baby foot. Baby appendages are cute. I don't know what happened. She did like some sort of.
That's got to be years of plastic surgery or something like that.
I was gonna say she taunted the god of gravity, and his wrath was furious.
Yeah, that's rough. All right.
Oh,
So definitely Natalie Lake then.
yes, definitely Natalie Lake.
Chihuahua body.
That,
I got
that, that version of her.
I got one more for you, man. Then we're done.
Oh, all right.
Christopher Lloyd
Okay.
or Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh my god. Oh, why you make me choose? Okay. Man. As fun as it is to think about Judge Doom, changing appendages to various toys that we could use in our coituses. Um, I love Christopher Lloyd so much. I really do. Like he is one of my favorite people. Granted, he's getting up there now, and I don't think we could do anything of any kind of significance. Um, and I think it would be cute to meet him for the first time every time when he forgets who I am. Um, because he's kind of getting up there, but like he's played so many lovable characters in my lifetime that um, each time, like his pet name would always be a new character. Like he would come home with the groceries, and I would help him and be like, oh, thank you, Fester, or um, we could have like little running gags, and it's like just randomly we could be on the couch watching a movie together, and I'd be like, all right, time to go, and he'd be like, wait, where are we going? And I'd just be like, look him dead in the eye and go, we got to go back to the future. And
It's your
he
kids.
probably gets sick of it, but
It's your kids. We gotta do something about your kids.
it's your kids. We got to do something about your kids. Like stuff like that. I can have a lot of fun with him on that. Judge Doom is very one-dimensional. Like he wants to, I don't know, get into real estate with roads. He wants to adopt a highway, and I think once he has it, he really doesn't know what else to do with it. And that voice, like I've heard of screamers and moaners in bed, but once it reaches a certain pitch, and it starts breaking glass, I don't want to deal with that. I the You've seen me, like my prescription's pretty thick on my eyes. Like if I were to lose my hearing too, I would be like halfway to a vegetable a lot quicker than I'd like to be in my lifetime. So yeah, Judge Doom has too many negatives, and Christopher Lloyd is just so endearing. Like I mean, I guess I could do some naughty hospice care with him, but I don't think it could be like a deep sexual relationship. Be more like, a dirty sponge bath that dips south every once in a while, and then we could talk about like, fun stuff from time to time, and again, just re-meet him over and over again.
Right.
Yeah,
So Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd in a heartbeat,
Very
very slow geriatric heartbeat.
nice. Very nice. All right. Well, that does it for that. Now we get to the fun part. We gotta name this bad boy.
Okay, so I heard you taking notes,
I still have Super Sexy Ninja Fish.
and I keep leaning back to that one too, actually.
Hold on, I got another one.
Okay.
Trading chocolates.
Okay. I was thinking, oh damn it, I had it and I lost it.
That's why we write them down, Andy.
No, I don't cheat nearly as much as you do.
Oh yeah, cheat. I like trading chocolates.
Trading chocolates.
Yeah, referring to
Yeah, no,
taking
the
you
Valentine's
chocolate
Day
for
thing.
yeah.
I still like Super Sexy Ninja Fish though.
It's good. It's good.
I wish we had like a third party as like a tiebreaker.
Super Sexy Ninja Fish does kind of roll off the tongue.
Yeah, and then it's one of those catching things where it's like trading chocolates, what? Versus like Super Sexy Ninja Fish is like, oh, I gotta hear what that's about.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. That's that's the name. That'll do it for this week's edition of the Side Splitters. Episode number 27, named Super Sexy Ninja Fish.
Yes.
My
Carpe diem.
my name is Lyle.
And I am irreversibly Andy.
Irreversibly. We will see you next week.
Bye.